Tonight on DC News Now, bracing for day 23 of the government shutdown, the strain it's putting on federal workers, and the new impact for travelers at Reagan National.
Tracking a mainly clear and cold night ahead before we warm back up into the 60s to round out the week. The latest details coming up.
A new poll showing a closer race in Virginia. The new gains for the Republican incumbent in the Attorney General race, while his Democratic opponent is facing another controversy.
Do we really need 120 gas pumps here? No.
Vote yes on Buc-ee's.
Controversy over plans to build a new Buc-ee's in Northern Virginia. Why some neighbors aren't eager for this beaver and how you can weigh in.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 10 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. Let's talk about a marathon speech, a 12th vote, and still, the government shutdown is now rolling into day 23 tomorrow. A Democrat from Oregon held the Senate floor for 22 hours, blaming Republicans for the shutdown to continue the strategy of slashing Americans' health care, having already made cuts to Medicaid over the summer. While the second-ranking Republican in the upper chamber calling Senator Jeff Merkley's speech rubbish and for forcing Capitol Police and staff to work without pay so he can have his talkathon.
And the government shutdown taking a toll on TSA over at Reagan National. The agency announcing its lost and found office is now temporarily closed because of the shutdown. DC News Now's Yamari Sase joining us live tonight at DCA.
All right, Yamari, what do we do if we leave something at the airport, lose it? I don't know. I'm constantly leaving my earbuds somewhere.
Well, you're just like me, but if anyone loses anything right here at DCA at this point, you're going to have to file that claim online because the TSA's lost and found office is now temporarily closed because of this shutdown. Now, several travelers that we spoke to say they hope that the government opens soon, and those essential TSA workers that are working right now, they hope they also get paid.
We need the government to be adults and start working together to get the government back to work and to get paid.
Day 22 of the federal shutdown, and now this sign is posted outside the TSA Lost and Found office at DCA.
I think it's really unfortunate. I think a lot of hardworking people are impacted negatively, and it's something that hopefully there's a remedy soon.
The office is temporarily closed because of the government shutdown, and all lost item requests now have to be submitted online.
I think when people think about the government and things like that, they think really big picture, and they don't always think about the actual individual people who are deeply affected.
This comes as essential TSA workers are still showing up, but they're not getting paid.
I don't think anybody should be working for free, and I'm glad that they are, but they need to get paid.
I mean, they should be getting paid, and I really hope that everything works out, and I believe that it will.
Travelers say they're grateful for the TSA staff who continue to work even without pay.
I just thank everybody for doing the work that they're doing, not getting paid, because otherwise our whole country shuts down, and that doesn't help anyone.
Now, again, if you lose anything here at DCA, you'll have to file that claim online. The TSA Lost and Found office is temporarily closed at this time. It's not clear exactly how long it'll take for them to get back to you. Now, reporting live at DCA, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
All right, more frustration for travelers, and all these federal workers are also facing some really tough decisions when they won't be getting a paycheck Friday.
Like many of us, these workers have expenses like medicine, rent, and food, which, of course, not easy to handle with no cash flow.
Do have an expense every 90 days, like $500. So I don't have that cost right now, and right now my medications are due to be filled.
Coming up in our next half hour, you're going to hear much more from Monica Nixon as this back and forth over her job being eliminated is leaving her to make some really difficult decisions without a whole lot of support.
And we have continuing coverage of the government shutdown both here on air and online at DCNewsNow.com.
All right, let's turn our attention now to Chief Meteorologist Jackie Lair. It is feeling much more like fall these days.
Yeah, and temperatures are dropping at this point. Much of the area 50s, seeing some 40s on the map already.
Ooh,
overnight tonight, I know, it's going to be even colder tomorrow morning, so I've got to brace for that. Here's a view of those current temperatures. We're right at 59 degrees right now in D.C. at the top of this 10 o'clock hour. We're seeing some of those 40s out towards Fredericksburg. Culpeper just dropped into the upper 40s just now. 45 degrees out towards Winchester. That's one of the cooler spots on the map at this point. Lower 50s out towards Manassas. But look at these overnight lows into tomorrow morning. We're talking low to mid 40s for especially the eastern half of the area. Farther out towards the west, Woodstock, Luray, Culpeper, Orange, you could be waking up into those mid to upper 30s, but it's going to be even colder out there into early Friday morning. So heads up for the end of the work week. But if you're trying to plan out your Thursday, that sunrise just before 7:30 in the morning, it will be a cold start. We have mainly clear skies by 11 a.m. temperatures, eventually to those upper 50s by that point. We're talking low 60s for much of the area for those high temperatures for your Thursday afternoon. Friday, a touch cooler. And for the weekend, similar high temperatures. So I'll have more details on that and look at that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Jackie, thank you. DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and yet another controversy for Democratic Attorney General nominee Jay Jones. He's reportedly still under investigation for his time served for a reckless driving conviction.
Fox News reporting there's now a special prosecutor looking into that case. In 2022, Jones was convicted of reckless driving in Virginia in order to serve 1,000 hours of community service. His Republican opponent, the current AG, Jason Miyares, says Jones only served half that time, and it was with his own political action committee.
Miyares, in a letter writing, it is not possible for Jay Jones to fulfill the duties of this office while under an open criminal investigation. If Jay Jones stays in the race, it shows a contempt for voters never seen in modern Virginia political history. We did reach out to the Jones campaign, but have not heard back yet. The news of Jones under investigation comes as hundreds of thousands of voters have already cast an early ballot, and it is just 2 weeks from Election Day.
A new polling suggests Miyares has pulled ahead following Jones's controversial violent text messages that came to light. The poll also says the Democrat is favored to become Virginia's first female governor. DC News Now's Ben Dennis diving into the new poll and caught up with voters about the state of the race.
All right, Ben, what are voters telling you?
Hey there, guys. Virginia voters are not shy about who they're supporting, whether they've cast a ballot already or still have a plan to do it at some point before November the 4th. That VCU poll is what we're referencing here, and it signals that Democrat Abigail Spanberger is in the lead for governor. What about the AG's race and lieutenant governor? Take a look.
In the Commonwealth, early votes continue to be cast. Less than 2 weeks before Virginia elects its first female governor, polling from Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond says Democrat and former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger leads GOP Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earle-Sears by 7 points.
At least judging by the polls, you'd much rather be Abigail Spanberger than Winsome Earle-Sears.
The poll says Democrat Ghazala Hashmi leads Republican John Reed by just 1 point for Lieutenant Governor, and Republican Attorney General Jason Miyares tops Democrat Jay Jones by 3 points. After Jones' violent texts from 2022 came to light, going after the then Republican House Speaker, Republican ads are seizing on the controversy. While Jones apologized, voters are still talking about the issue. Planning on possibly voting for him before that?
I was not, but you know, left or right, I really can't support that kind of stuff.
Do you think that the text controversy has changed the state of the race?
It has, but I don't know that it's changed it enough to change people's views of Miyares.
In light of the Jay Jones controversy, do you think that was enough to tip the scales in Miyares' favor?
I hope not. You know, I would have liked to have known that information before the primary. The fact that they held it back, I find kind of insulting.
There has been an estimated 753,000 votes that have already been cast throughout the early days of this election. That's according to the Virginia Public Access Project. Once again, make a plan. If you do decide to cast a ballot, the last day to do it is November the 4th. And Arlington, Ben Dennis, back to you.
A hotly contested race there, Ben. Thank you. Staying in Virginia and happening now, an investigation into this really bizarre, deadly shooting that kills a man in Stafford County. Investigators say that Michael Dodge III was with a mortgage company doing work outside of a home there on Mountain View Road, and Donald Thomas, who was inside the home, opened fire and shot the 35-year-old several times. Dodge was on the phone, happened to be with a colleague at the time, who reported suddenly hearing the gunfire and then couldn't get back in touch with his colleague. Investigators have not shared a motive, but they say that Thomas is charged with first-degree murder and is now being held without bond.
In Maryland, police drones in Silver Spring are grounded, at least for the time being. Montgomery County police say construction near its launch site make it unsafe to send them into the air, so they're now working to find a new launch site. They say crews will be reassigned to support patrol operations in the White Oak area until the drones can be launched again.
Disappointing news for Commanders fans. Quarterback Jaden Daniels will not play in Monday night's big game against Kansas City Chiefs. He hurt his hamstring in Sunday's game against Dallas. This is going to be the third game that JD5 will be missing this season. Backup Marcus Mariota will start, and we're going to have much more on how the team is adjusting their game plan a little bit later in sports.
That is a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
All right, all new tonight, D.C. Mayor's office holding a community meeting with an update on the future site of the RFK Stadium. Officials saying they're working on the master plan for that site and expect to release it for public comment next summer. They also share new timelines for the different districts they plan to build around the new stadium. They expect the Plaza District directly to the west side of the stadium to be done by 2037, with the Riverfront District expected to be completed by 2040.